Hey, Lindsay here. The other day, I made a video talking about my depression that I experienced. And today I wanted to, talk about the day after that video. I'd realized, and, maybe those of you that also deal with depression can kind of, maybe later pinpoint something that came up. For me, it was feeling like I didn't have control because I had to do something that I didn't want to do. On Monday, I had to go to court for my domestic violence trial, and I didn't want to do it. It's been something that's been dragging on for a while, and the weekend, I had noticed that the weekends before I have to go to court, I end up in a depressed mood. So on Monday, when I woke up, it's just a matter of, okay, I have to do this. I have to go to court. I don't have a choice. I have a choice, but I was choosing to go to court. So how I handle when I have depressed moods is, I start to think about the fact that I have control over my mind. My mind doesn't have control over me. A lot of times when one feels depressed, you can kind of feel helpless. Feel helpless, like you're not in control. It's controlling you. But the fact is, this is not the case. We have control over our mind. We can spin the depression or take it and use it as a guide, for what, maybe we're not seeing or something that we're not addressing in our life, and therefore it is leading to a depressed mood. When we realize that we have control, our life is exactly as we have set it up to be. Tomorrow is the culmination of, today and yesterday and like the day before. So when you take back control and, say, I have control over my mind, I have, you might not have control over your mood in that minute, but you can take actionable steps that will change the course of your mood and therefore the outcome of the rest of your day. So here's what I did yesterday. So when I woke up, I made my bed. That was a must. I had to make my bed. Then when I went to take a shower, I decided to take a short, cold shower. Cold showers are something that I have been wanting to implement more because, it's something, like that's, kind of scary. And, like if you can, grab life by the, you know what I mean, by taking a cold shower, then the rest is totally gravy. So I got in the shower and I took 45 second cold shower. Wasn't ice cold, but it was cold. And then I went on with the rest of my shower. And I felt like I had done something slightly brave. So, I was like, okay, starting off the day with, hey, I got control, I made my bed. Then, I'm gonna do something a little bit scary that I don't normally do. And I took a cold shower. I put on a nice outfit that felt like I looked nice, and that made me feel a little bit better. Then when I was in the car, everyone heard of the power pose. I did the power pose. It's kind of like Superman, where you're going like this. So I did that one-handed because I was driving. I did that one-handed while I was dropping my son off. And, I started to kind of get in this different mindset. So, even though I was going to do something that, I didn't want to do, I felt like I was in control of my life still. And then the mood started to like fade away because I was forgetting about it. I was in the driver's seat. I was handling business and having wins along the way. You know, I mean, like when you're depressed and you don't want to get out of bed, obviously, like if you get out of bed, that's a win. If you go for a walk in nature, that's a win. You know, if you do something other than go lay on the couch and watch TV, that's a win. You know, anything to help elevate your mood, you know. And then I had contact with friends throughout the day, you know, and some friends did some really nice things for me, got me dinner, and that helped. But then I, you know, ended up taking a slight nap at the end of the day when I was putting my son down, because I felt really drained, and it felt right to take a nap at that moment. You know, okay, go to bed early, which would end up being a nap because I ended up waking up. And then I went to go paint. So if you can throw, you know, something in creative, you know, because I was tempted to just scroll on social media, you know, like, oh, it's 9 p.m., you know, whatever, there's not much I can do. I went to work on a commissioned painting that I'm doing, because I was putting off an aspect of it because it's been a slight while since I'd done one. And there was a part of it that I didn't want to do. So that was like another kind of brave step. Hey, I'm going to work on this part of this painting that I'm, you know, having, you know, mental issues, you know, blocks on this part of this painting. I'm going to do that. And then the rest of, you know, the depressed mood just really kind of flowed out, because I spent the day, you know, telling myself that I had control. And, you know, while I was at the courthouse, rather than feel sorry for myself, feel, you know, bad, oh, why am I in this situation, you know, which I've made a very conscious effort not to do, you know, there were others there. And I talked to other women and, you know, tried to help them in their situation, because that's what I do. And, you know, if you cannot focus on your own, you know, on what you don't like in your own life, you know, like energy flows where your intention goes. So, you know, if you put your focus on the things that are going wrong in your life, they're going to continue happening. Like that's just how it goes. That's, you know, how this world was made, you know, like our mind really is the like starting point for how everything else goes. So stay in a positive mindset, and then you will, you know, always have control over, you know, the aspects of your life that you need to have control over. So, you know, I mean, everyone has moods, and that's okay to be in that mood at that time, and to accept it, and then say, okay, you know, but I control how the rest of my day is going to go, and I control everything else after this. Like, this mood can be here, but how will the rest of my day go? Food for thought.